Imagine this. You're sitting alone in your room, nothing but a crumpled notebook, a flickering desk lamp, and the feeling that nothing you ever do really matters. And then, out of nowhere, you find an old pencil that can turn everything you draw into reality. At first, it feels like a miracle. But soon, it becomes the most dangerous thing you've ever touched. That's what happened to Aria. And her life would never be the same again. She discovered the pencil on the kind of afternoon you don't remember later. Rain dripping against the glass, thunder crawling somewhere far away. She was 12, wandering through her grandmother's attic where dust floated like tiny ghosts. Most of the boxes held yellowed photographs, broken lamps, or forgotten toys. But at the bottom of one chest, wrapped in dark blue velvet, was a pencil. It didn't look like much, just wood and graphite, but when she turned it in her hand, it shimmered faintly, as if light lived beneath its surface. Her name, Aria, was etched so faintly into the side, it felt like it had been waiting for her. That night, sitting at her desk, she drew a bird. Just a simple sparrow, wings outstretched. She wasn't thinking, really, just letting her mind wander. But as she pressed the final line, the paper rippled like water. A shadow rose, feathers uncoiling from the page, and before she could blink, the sparrow burst free, alive, circling her bedroom. Aria froze. The pencil slipped from her fingers. The bird landed on her lamp, tilting its head, real in every way. She reached out slowly and touched it. Warm. Breathing. Beating heart. Her chest filled with terror and awe. The next night she drew again. An apple. It rolled onto her desk, fresh and perfect. She bit it. It tasted sweeter than anything she'd ever eaten. Soon, her room became a gallery of miracles. A teddy bear she'd sketched now leaned against her bed, soft and plush. Flowers bloomed in jars. Stars she scribbled floated like lanterns near her ceiling. Everything she imagined came to life. But the pencil had no limits. One night, restless, she drew a door. Tall, arched, carved with strange symbols she hadn't meant to add. The page shivered, and on her wall the door appeared, real, glowing faintly. She held her breath and touched the handle. Cold. Heavy. She pulled it open just an inch, and a wind rushed out, icy, endless, whispering voices. Her hair whipped across her face. The bird screeched and flapped violently, as if warning her. She slammed the door shut. The drawing dissolved into nothing. She should have stopped there. But she didn't. Aria brought the pencil everywhere. At school, she sketched answers during tests. Perfect scores. She drew money, shoes, even a phone she wasn't allowed to have. Her friends noticed. She became the girl who suddenly had everything. But envy followed her like a shadow. One day, her classmate Mila snatched her notebook, laughing. She flipped through the sketches, confused. "You think you're some kind of artist?" she mocked. Aria's chest tightened. She grabbed the pencil, furious, and without thinking, drew Mila's face melting, lines harsh and jagged. The page twitched. Mila screamed. Her reflection in the classroom window warped, skin sagging before snapping back to normal. Everyone froze. Mila collapsed in tears. Aria stuffed the pencil away, horrified. She hadn't meant it. She hadn't wanted to hurt her. But the pencil didn't care about intentions. That night, she locked it in a drawer. But when she woke, it was under her pillow. No matter where she hid it, it came back. The pencil wanted to be used. Days turned into weeks. Aria tried resisting. But her family was struggling. Her dad lost his job, bills piled high, her mom cried quietly at night. One evening, Aria opened her notebook and drew a stack of cash. It appeared crisp and real. She left it on the kitchen counter. The next morning, her parents found it. Relief spread through their faces. Her mother hugged her tighter than ever. Aria smiled, but deep down, dread coiled in her stomach. Money didn't solve everything. The pencil began to whisper in her mind, urging her to create more. Bigger. Greater. Doors. Worlds. People. And one night she did. Alone in her room, trembling, she drew a boy. Not just any boy. A friend. Someone who would never leave her. His eyes were kind, his smile soft. As the final line darkened, the paper rippled. A figure stepped forward, flesh and bone. He blinked, looked at her, and whispered, "Hi." Aria's heart nearly stopped. She named him Elias. He laughed, learned, grew. He wasn't perfect. He was human. Too human. And the more she created, the more she realized he wasn't a drawing come alive. He was something else. Something aware. Weeks passed. Elias would sit by her side, but sometimes, she'd catch him staring at the pencil, expression unreadable. "Where did you get that?" he asked one night, voice low. Aria froze. "Why?" "Because it doesn't belong here," he said. His tone wasn't soft anymore. It was knowing. Dangerous. She hid the pencil, but it didn't matter. He was changing. His presence grew heavier. His shadow stretched longer than it should. One evening, she woke to find him drawing. The pencil in his hand, his lines sharp and furious. On the paper was a door. Not the one she had drawn before. This one was darker, jagged, almost alive. And it was opening. Voices spilled into the room. Whispers, laughter, screams. Shapes moved beyond the threshold, clawing to get out. "No." Aria lunged, snatching the pencil back. She scribbled across the page, erasing, until the door snapped shut. Elias roared, his voice echoing like thunder. "You can't erase me," he snarled. His eyes burned with something inhuman. Aria's hands shook. "I made you. I can unmake you." She drew fast, frantic, Elias crumbling, fading, gone. He screamed, body dissolving into shadows, until the page fell still. Her chest heaved. Tears blurred her eyes. The room was silent, but the pencil pulsed faintly in her grip. She realized then, this was no gift. It was a trap. A chain. It would never stop until it consumed everything. The next day, Aria walked to the riverbank. The pencil lay heavy in her palm. She stared at the rushing water, her reflection trembling on its surface. For a long time, she thought about keeping it. About all the doors she could open, all the people she could bring back. Her grandmother. A world without pain. But she also thought about Elias's eyes. With one last breath, she hurled the pencil into the river. It vanished beneath the current, swallowed by the dark. And for the first time in weeks, her room was just a room. Her desk was just a desk. Her notebook was just paper. But late that night, as she drifted into uneasy sleep, she heard it. The faint scratch of graphite on paper. And when she opened her eyes, there, on her desk, was the pencil. Waiting.